everybody, and welcome to Geoff's baking blog. Today I'm going to be making spotted dick. This is a dessert very popular when I was at school as part of our school dinners. It's a suet pudding with currants in, and it used to be made in long sausage shapes. I think they had special tins for it at school. These days you often find it made in a pudding basin, so it comes out, it's turned out from a pudding basin and it's round and divided into pieces. But I'm going to do it in a sausage shape because that's how I had it as a school dinner. It's not very sweet and it's usually served with custard. It should be quite a dense suet pudding, and it's flecked, as I say, with currants, which is where the spotted part comes from. I think dick is an old term for a pudding, basically. And the way this is cooked is that it's steamed. Now you can do it in the oven, I'm sure, but steamed is the preferred method for doing this. It's actually quite a simple recipe, but it takes time because I'm going to steam it for about 2 hours. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And for this I have 150 grams, which is 1 cup, based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of plain flour. And then I have 8 grams, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I have 100 milliliters, a third of a cup plus 4 teaspoons of milk, but I may not need all of the milk. I have 75 grams, half a cup of currants, and into that I have put 2 tablespoons of hot water, and I've left it for about 30 minutes. The 2 tablespoons is 30 milliliters. You could use rum or brandy or something if you wanted to, but I'm sticking with water. For a little extra flavour, I've got the zest from 1 lemon and 1 gram, a quarter of a teaspoon of mixed spice. Both of those are optional. You don't need to include them if you don't want to. I have 25 grams, 2 tablespoons of packed light brown sugar, and I have 75 grams, 3/4 of a cup plus 1 tablespoon of shredded suet. And you can get a vegetable version of suet in the UK for those who want a vegetarian version. So, what I'm going to do is simply mix all the ingredients together, and then I'm going to form it into a sausage. So I start off by putting the baking powder and the mixed spice into the flour and mixing that around. I'll add the sugar as well and the lemon zest, and just distribute those. And then the suet as well.
I'm not sure I understand.
My watch doesn't understand for some reason. I wasn't asking it anything. So with that so with the suet mixed in, I'm going to add the currants and the remainder of the liquid. And I'm going to mix those around. And then I'm going to add as much of the milk as I need so that I can stir it together into a dough, but I may not need all of the milk. I'll start off with about half. And carry on adding milk until I don't need any more. And I think that's all the milk I'm going to need. And that's good like that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip that out onto a floured surface. And I'm going to form it into a log. I'm just going to put some flour on my hands as well. And that's good enough like that, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that in some parchment paper. So I'm going to fold the parchment paper over on itself like that, but I'm not going to wrap it tight. I'm going to leave it fairly loose, and then I'm going to squeeze the end and twist, and I'm going to tie that with some string, and the same at the other end as well. And then I'm going to just fold those over. In fact, I can cut some of that end off now that I've done that. Like that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to encase that in some aluminium foil. And having wrapped that in foil, I'm going to put that into my steamer like that, and I'm going to put that onto a pot of steaming water and cover it, and I'm going to steam it, simmering it for 2 hours, and it should cook all the way through. I will top up with more boiling water as necessary so that the steamer doesn't run dry. And then after 2 hours, once it is steamed, I'll take it out of the steamer and I'll come back and show you the results. I steamed the spotted dick, the suet pudding with currants, for 2 hours, and I've taken it out of the steamer and put it onto a plate, and I've cut off a piece and heated some custard so I can show you that as well. So this is what it looks like, and it cooked. It rose a little bit, as it would do because of the baking powder, and it cooked right through, and it is dense, as I said it would be, and I've just cut the ends off and poured some custard over them. It's still hot, or warm at least, so I'll have a taste of it. That's very, very good. Not overly sweet because there's not very much sugar in it, but it has that nice texture that I remember from spotted dick in my school days. Suet, I do like suet pudding, and this works very well indeed, particularly with custard, which is how it's usually served. So it's a simple recipe, but it does take some time because you steam it for a long time. You don't have to use a steamer like I did. You can actually put it in a large pan standing on something like a saucepan or a dish so that it's out of the water and steams like that. So I hope you've enjoyed the recipe, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link for it below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.